And good day, everyone. We are back in the Joyly Studios, sitting on the amazing Joyly chair that I would love to have at an actual event instead of in my living room, but that's okay. We'll pretend that you're sitting inside it, Jacent Wamala. Did I say that correctly?
Yep, that's how you say it.
All right, fabulous. So before we go any further, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how we met and how you got here and where in the world you are at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm in Las Vegas currently. I was born in Uganda but raised here in the States. And so I'm a first generation third culture kid. And professionally, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I focus on working with women on anxiety, depression, overcoming trauma, and roadblocks to their success, both personally and professionally. And then I also, have a little bit of a platform on Instagram and started a podcast in December where I just share gems because I think that all of us at the end of the day have gems that we can cultivate within us. And maybe some of them are covered up by the things that we go through in life. And so I'm just trying to help as many people as possible uncover those hidden gems within themselves through the podcast and through social media.
By the way, I love your gold head piece.
I know, it kind of goes together. It goes
Did you
with the whole
plan that
vibe.
or no? Anyway, thank you for just sent gems. Though I listened to a few of them, and you just have a very beautiful, eloquent way of speaking, and you make your guests feel really great. So, thank you for doing that. So people need to go to your. I mean, pretty much they can find everything through your Insta handle, which is Jacent, Jecent. What was it? Jacent Gems. Jacent Gems.
Gems.
Yes,
Yeah.
which will be in the link below when we're finished too as well. So anyway, awesome. So let's move on with the interview. So basically we always talk on our Joyly Studios Influencer of Joy segments under the formula of under the Joyly formula, which is find, be, share. So I am super curious and I'm happy to share with other people that are watching how you find, be, and share your joy. So let me ask you, so you're doing lots of things, a licensed marriage family therapist, I didn't realize, but really focusing on the financial aspects with women is phenomenal. So I don't know if that's your joy specifically, but I'm curious how you found that piece or that passion for you to share that.
Yeah, so I found it through my own financial journey, to be honest with you. I actually never wanted to go into debt, but then life kind of gets you off track. And to me, if you don't have a plan, you're going to adopt someone else's. And so I found myself in quite a bit of debt after graduate school and subsequently getting divorced. And so through my own financial journey and working with people and families, I realized that a lot of my clients were also dealing with finances as one of their major stressors in their lives. And so as I was working as a mental health professional, I realized that there's a factor that a lot of people aren't talking about, and that's financial stress and how to gain control in that area of your life. Because there are a lot of things that are out of control, but that's one of the places that if you can get on a plan, then you can start feeling really good about the progress you're making and feel, independent and control of the place that you can have some influence. And so now that is my pivot. I'm pivoting into mental health and money because not enough people in my perspective are talking about it. And so I'm like, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. And it does have a lot to do with psychology, the things that you grew up with, and learn to believe about money, whether you believe you're prosperous or scarce. And so that because of the psychological behavioral aspects, plus my own journey, which I will be out of debt by next month for my 30th birthday. It's kind of that blend of my personal experience with that of my clients as well.
Awesome. So that leads us to the next part of the Joyly formula, which is the being part. So I like to not to tell tales, but if you could be a little more specific, let's say I walked into your room and I'm sitting there, what would kind of the lowdown be and what would that look like for somebody that's maybe like, I don't know what to do about these finances. Can you just kind of share with me what the process is and then also maybe a success story of someone that you worked with?
Yeah, it starts with auditing. I think if you're just getting started and you have no idea where to begin, you want to audit your finances and figure out what you've been spending on. That, along with identifying your way of spending, the psychology behind your spending or lack thereof. Some people are extreme savers, and there's a psychology behind that. So starting with an audit of what you've been spending your money on, and then understanding the pieces of how did you get to this place? What were the thoughts and the beliefs that led you to this place in your finances, so that you can use that as a catapult to create a plan that's specific to each person. So that's why it's a little challenging, because it depends on the unique individual, but those are the general first steps.
Right. And so I heard your story of success, being out of debt by the age of 30. Congratulations on that. Is there another story that you might share with us?
Yeah, so I was actually hesitant over the last few years to share, because I know finances are really personal. I didn't want people to feel like I was like pointing them out or judging them for the choices that they were making. But I started sharing a little bit here and there. And actually, I had some friends that had reached out after the fact. I didn't even know that they were doing anything. And one person had said that they started with like a 500 credit score, and then within a year they got up to like 600, and they had paid off like $6,000, and that they felt really in control of their finances just by watching what I had shared. Another person, I did a podcast, Budget Like a Boss. I did an episode, and she said that she had taken notes and saved $900, and it was $1,000 by the end of the month, but she was about to be done saving her emergency fund. And so everyone that I've kind of talked with and chatted with has saved between $500 to $1,000 initially, and they're continuing on their journey. So it's really exciting to see.
That is so exciting. So that is fabulous. So finding and being your joy obviously is working for you on a daily basis. I can tell you're very sustained. Like, you get up in gratitude, you go to sleep in gratitude. You're really pretty much, even though we're in a global crisis and things kind of go up and down with emotions and everything like that, I feel like you're really a strong sustainer of your joy. Can you tell me where or who you got that from, or was that from your own self-development?
I think that comes from having been born in Uganda and just knowing that there's very different lifestyles that people lead. And so I never want to take the sacrifices that my family made and discredit or not honor them. And so for me to have the opportunity to wake up in a place where, I can live freely, I can make decisions about what I want to do for work and for my relationships. And I just feel like it's necessary to take every single moment for appreciation, to be happy about the things that you can do, as opposed to focusing on the things that limit and get in your way.
Can you speak to that in the moment, in the global crisis? How are you paying attention to those things on a moment by moment basis right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm working from home, and the second story of my house, I've got my little home desk where I work from, and actually there's a window right up against the desk, and there's some trees right outside. And so if you're looking outside just at the right angle, it looks like you're in the forest. And so nature is one of the best ways that you can kind of connect with your source and with your soul. And so that's one of the quickest ways for me to kind of find my clarity.
That is so beautiful. All right, this is the last question with the formula, is how are you sharing yourself? I obviously on your beautiful Instagram and on your podcast, but is there something bigger picture in the sharing world? Is there a book, or is there something else that you might want to share with us? I like to use these interviews as places for people to put things out into the universe too. Like, what's next for Jacent?
Immediately, the next thing is Budget Like a Boss. I've got a free live masterclass that I will be hosting in a week from today. So I'm collecting all of the emails of the people that want to take part in that. The last one was a really big success. And then I am working on a book kind of sharing my journey and all the tips and tricks that I've used to get myself out of $90,000 worth of debt. So that should be out hopefully in the fall.
It's fun to kind of work on these things right now. We can be a little focused and we're not running all around, and you're getting a lot done, I can tell.
Yeah, use the time wisely, and then also honor resting too.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to the that information. You'll have to continue to share that with us, and we'll have you back on a panel, obviously. May I share our upcoming launch with you real quick, and then I'll ask you your final question. All right. So Joy Lee has just been in the midst, the throes, if you will, of creating our launch, which is set for May 30th. And we're calling it a Sage and Sock Party. So anybody who's listening, if you have yellow socks, we invite you to come to our Facebook Live event. And we are having all of our sages. We have about 18 of them that are going to be sharing more about joy that morning. So it's a Saturday morning, and we would love for you to come, Jacent, and tell all your friends. And it's going to be a really amazing Saturday morning.
I'll have to mark my calendar.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, your last question is for all of the people that are out there listening and saying, man, this girl's got what it takes. She is an influencer of joy and I want to be successful like she is. What would you say to them?
I would say take the time to connect with yourself on a daily basis. If that's walking outside, talking to your family or friends, or playing with your dog, just find a way to yourself as quickly as possible in the day on a daily basis, and you will be that.
And how do you know when you're there? Like, how do you know that, like, okay, I feel good again? Like, was there like this? I don't know about you, but I just kind of always have this warm flush inside of me. Like when I tap into the earth and I'm outside and I can hear the birds, and it's like, all right, whatever that is over there isn't so horrible. So, how do you know that's true for you?
Yeah, I think like just like you mentioned it. So for some people, it's a wave of calm or peace. For some people, you might find yourself smiling. I know I sing when I'm really excited, but it's knowing that regardless of what's happening, I'm okay. And whatever that is communicated for you is that's how you know.
That is beautiful. All right. So we are going to close and thank you everybody for watching. And we'll see you again, Jacent, on another broadcast in the future. You have a great day.
Thanks for having me.